Well, ladies and gentlemen, we owe this claim, this safety to those who stood while we slept. Let's remember the lives we lost and salute the ones who saved countless more.
जय हिंद एवरीवन, मैं हरताज धालेवाल और आपके सामने बहुत ही चैलेंजिंग सिचुएशन लेकर आया। व्हाट हैपेंड इन दिल्ली, इसका बिगर प्लॉट क्या था और कैसे हमारी एजेंसीज ने इसको कवर किया। वेल, एट एग्जैक्टली 6:52 p.m. on November 10th, a car exploded near Delhi's Red Fort. The fireball lit up the capital. 13 people died on the spot. Windows were shattered, traffic halted, and Delhi stood still. But what investigators uncovered next shocked them. The man who planted the car bomb was a doctor, a medical professional from Pulwama, the same one intelligence agencies had been quietly tracking just days earlier. Well, he knew he was on the radar, knew others had been arrested, and so he disappeared, vanquished underground. No single digital trace. Then, when no one expected it, he struck. The car he used wasn't stolen. It had a real paper trail and was packed with the same high intensity explosive found in Faridabad. The message was clear: this was not a lone act. It is a part of a larger plan. And if our agencies hadn't disrupted other modules in time, there would have been not just one blast. There would have been many more. Metro stations, government offices, crowded malls, anywhere. The Red Fort wasn't the end. It was just the beginning of what could have been a nationwide chaos. Well, it all started when the spoofing had started. It began with confusion in the skies. Over the recent days, pilots flying over Delhi reported bizarre glitches. GPS signals went haywire. Planes were reporting phantom locations. In aviation terms, this wasn't a minor tech fault, it was GPS spoofing. Air traffic controllers were alarmed. No one knew where it was coming from. But something was clearly interfering with the satellite data. When you can fake GPS, you can hide movement. Now you've got to remember this. Or try to mislead the trackers, a dangerous tool. And if someone wants to move explosive unseen, behind these scenes, Indian intelligence agencies quietly probe. Was someone testing digital jamming before a bigger attack? And who was behind it? Encrypted channels and suspicious phone pings drew attention. Agencies began watching known associates of banned outfits and anyone whose movement matched area of concern. And that's when they stumbled on a module. A group, some posing as doctors, moving between Jammu, Faridabad, and Delhi. The agencies didn't yet have full proof, but a major network was formed. This had to be taken act. And they had to act fast. While Delhi reeled from the Red Fort blast, another twist shocked investigators. They arrested people who were on paper doctors. On November 9th, a registered medical professional from Pulwama was arrested in Jammu with 360 kilograms of explosives. He had been moving quietly between states using his identity to avoid suspicion. And days earlier, 7 others were detained in Delhi and Haryana, were in Faridabad. That group with ties to Faridabad was found with 2,900 kilograms of IED making chemicals. Remember that, ladies and gentlemen. That's nearly 3 metric tons of material capable of mass damage. 2 of the arrested were also medical professionals. Why doctors? Their cover gave them mobility and trust. It lowered scrutiny. Investigators found direct and indirect links between several of these men and banned outfits, including Jaish-e-Mohammed. They were in the final stages of preparing multi-coordinated blast across North India. One intercepted message, one slip-up, helped agencies crack open the plot. What followed was a rapid chain of raids, arrests that began to unravel a plan India wasn't preparing for. At exactly 6:52 p.m. on November 10th, a white Hyundai i20 with the registration number HR26CE 7674 exploded near the Red Fort in Delhi. The blast tore through the evening crowd. 13 people died instantly. Vehicles became twisted metal. the capital went silent. Investigators found the driver was a doctor from Pulwama named Umar Ahmed. He had been flagged by the intelligence agency, got off grid, changed phone, and vanished before reappearing to carry out the strike. The I-20 wasn't stolen. It had been sold and resold through a chain, first by a man in Gurugram, then through intermediaries, and including transfer via Okla and Ambala, and then arranged through a dealer operating as Royal Car Zone in Faridabad. The dealer had been detained for questioning. The multiple transfers were deliberate, designed to blur the trail. The car sat near the monument for hours inside explosive, matching the chemicals seized earlier in Faridabad. This is not a random act. It was calculated strike in a border plan. The Red Fort explosion was the opening act. And when the agencies connected the dots, the picture was stark. The GPS spoofing wasn't a random glitch. It appeared to be a test to jam the signals and move explosive without easy detection. The doctors were operatives, educated, mobile, and using professional cover to transport components between Pulwama, Faridabad, and Delhi. The Red Fort blast was one attack that succeeded, but it confirmed a much larger intent. Can you imagine the 2,900 kilograms of explosive had not been seized, and had the Pulwama suspects not been flagged? The network could have mounted coordinated attacks across the capital, metro stations, markets, public offices, airports, rallies. And that's where we have to thank our surveillance intercepts, location track, forensic work, fast coordination between state and central agencies. The wider network was disrupted before it could be fully activated. The arrest came in time. The chain that might have led to multiple detonations was broken. India was inches away from a far worse catastrophe, and most people never even realized how close it became. So, what is this really about? A terror network hiding in plain sight using GPS spoofing to disrupt and evade detection. The tactic was used against us not by our agencies. Spoofing helped operatives mask movement and throw off digital trackers. It endangered civilian aircrafts, amplified the threat beyond just targeted sites. What stopped it was not luck, but relentless work and coordination. We all need to thank our multiple agencies, intelligence inputs, police forces, frontline responders, who had shared these alerts in real time. They intercepted communications, tracked suspects, followed financial and movement trails, and carried out arrests that prevented even more devastation. Doctors became carriers, common vehicles became weapons, and one blast could have become many. This was meant to collapse confidence, cause panic, and break the system. It failed because our forces worked day and night to protect us, every one of us. And if this breakdown helped us understand what nearly happened, like, share, and subscribe. Stories like this shouldn't vanish in a headline. They need to be remembered, and the people who keep us safe need to be thanked for the same. Jai Hind, everyone. This is Hartaj signing off.